Welcome. This is the Chapel Trader. I'm very happy to have you guys back for another video. And in this video, I'm just going to be covering how you guys can trade along with the institutional players, know where they're buying, when they're buying, and how much they're buying. So this way you're not trading against the big movers of the market, because as you guys know, us as retail traders, we make up for far less than 10% of the total financial market, whether it be Forex or futures. So it's very important that we at least have a general idea of where these players are buying and selling. So with no further ado, let's hop straight into it. Head over to this website called Trading Stir, C-O-T, and hit enter. You're gonna see this website come up, and this is primarily where I do most of my fundamental analysis. So as you can see, if you trade Forex, you're gonna see currencies here. You're gonna see anything from AUD all the way down to the South African Rand. You're also going to see Bitcoin, micros, and so on and so forth. You're even going to see lean hogs, live cattle, if you trade that. As for us, though, as futures traders, what we're going to be looking at is this section down here under where it says indexes. So with that being said, I will be using the NASDAQ 100 stock index as the example here, because that is primarily what I trade. So all you got to do is, select whichever of these you trade. For me, it's going to be the NASDAQ 100. And we're going to hit this link here, and it says COT Legacy. You're just going to click that. And it's going to take you to a screen that looks like this. Just ignore the ads. And you're probably looking at this chart and you're thinking, okay, what am I looking at? What does this mean? Don't worry, it's actually pretty simple, and I'm going to explain to you what each of these sections mean. So you're going to see non-commercial, commercial, total, and non-reportable. The only thing you have to really pay attention to is non-commercial, because non-commercial, this means the institutions that are trading for profit. Commercial, these are companies who are trading to hedge their companies against volatility in the market. So this is not what you want to be looking at. And total, this essentially is just saying the total number of longs versus total number of shorts. And then non-reportable, this is just information that, is being covered or cannot be reported on this website. So what you want to pay attention to as a retail trader is where it says non-commercial. As I mentioned before, this is where the big hedge funds, institutional players, and people who are actually trading for profit are going to be showing their information. And now you may be asking, okay, well, why would they show their information, and why would they tell the public, what they are longing and how much they're longing or shorting? And the answer to that is they legally have to. By law, these players are required to show their long and their short positions. And this is the website where you check that out. So with that being said, if we look under where it says long, short, and spreads, you really don't have to pay attention to spreads. The main two columns I pay attention to under non-commercial is long and short. And as you can see, it is primarily long buyers who have control of the market right now for this NASDAQ market. As you can see, it is 77,000 compared to 46,000 people who are shorting this market. Now, what does this mean? Does this mean that you just hop on Tradingview and just take every long you see? No, that is not what that means. You use this as a confluence in your fundamental analysis. You should also check Forex Factory. You should also check investing.com. But this website is where you can see where the big institutional players are actually hosting their longs or hosting their shorts. And you're able to see this not just for the NASDAQ, but you're able to see this for any other market that you trade. For example, let's go to GBPUSD and let's hit British Pound Sterling. as you can see, most of the institutional players, again, the people who are trading for profit, are looking to buy GBPUSD, which means that when they are buying the Great British Pound, excuse me, the US dollar is going to grow weaker, you know, and vice versa. We're seeing that most of these players who are trading for profit are going long on the Great British Pound, which means that if we go on Tradingview, we should see that the Great British Pound GU should be going up. So let's see what's happening on that front if it decides to load. Let's see here. Let's go to GBP USD. Okay, let's go to all GBP USD. Okay. All right. So let's see what time frame this is. This is the 1 minute daily. Okay. Well, this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. So as you can see, this is a clear uptrend on GU. Very clear uptrend, which is representative of the information that we just cross-referenced over here on Tradingster. Now we can do the same thing for NASDAQ futures. Let's head over to what I trade. Let's see here. So we are seeing a change in the state of delivery on the daily, or in other words, a bullish shift. That's what we're seeing here. And that is very representative of what we cross-referenced over there on Tradingster. So this is just a very easy way to check and ensure that you are trading with the institutional players and not against them. And again, I just want to clarify this, that this is not the end all be all. You cannot make your fundamental analysis decisions purely off of this website. You have to check things like Forex Factory. You have to check places like investing.com. And you also have to check this website because it does help you, give you another confluence as to why you are longing or shorting any particular asset. So this is just one of the many tools that I use to help with my win rate and also ensure that I am in this game long term. And yeah, that is essentially the point and end of this video. If you had any comments, concerns, questions on how to use this, let me know in the comments what you thought about it. All right, God bless. Thank you guys.